This season of the Urban Conservative Podcast is brought to you by Newton for Senate, working to improve education, reduce taxes, and keep North Carolina #1 for business. Find out more at newtonforsenate.com.
This episode of the Urban Conservative has also been sponsored by Case Technology Consulting. Help your business get value out of its data and become more efficient and streamlined. Case Technology Consulting. Check out the link in the description. Episode of Top of the Morning is brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Kelly Harmon, providing you with well-researched guidance backed by Edward Jones' extensive team and technology that help you prepare for retirement, children's education, or other financial goals. Call 252-473-1006 or visit the link on the screen. And ladies and gentlemen and ladies, it is time for Top of the Morning, best 30-minute morning show on the internet. Of course, you're joined by two UC twins, man. Frig Day, right? No, it's Monday. What am I talking about?
You thought it was a Friday?
No, it felt like Friday for 8 seconds, and now I realize, like, oh, it's clearly Monday.
It is clearly Monday.
Top of the morning, folks. Welcome to the top of the week. Here on the Urban Conservative, do us a favor. Head over to tuconservative.com, the website you see on your device, on your screen. Head over there, get yourself a membership, get yourself a t-shirt, little mug, little something of that nature. Help support what we do, which is push conservative values and policy ideas into our urban centers across North Carolina, New York, and really across the country. But, you know, we trying to crack these blue nuts up here in New York.
Crack them blue nuts. And you gotta let me know when y'all GOP convention is. And
yeah, we working
hey,
on that.
I gotta give a couple of shouts out real quick to a few folks that have joined the platform. Shouts out to Barbara Trapman, who got her a Hamilton plan. Big up to Melanie Major, who got her a Hamilton plan. And shouts out to Ronald Toppin, who got himself a Hamilton plan to support the Urban Conservative. We appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for supporting us and what we do.
I gotta say, shouts out to the folks out in Rocky Mount. Y'all, municipal election is tomorrow. But after we dropped that documentary, man, we seen a lot of y'all come, follow the page, support what we doing. Despite this narrative that people are promoting that somehow Rocky Mount is afraid of outsiders and they don't like outsiders and the outsiders. You guys have been very receptive to us and what we've been trying to do to play a role in helping better that community there.
Right.
Me and my brother are clearly aware we're not from there and we don't live there, and we understand the argument. We all ain't from here. Why y'all? We get that, right? But anywhere where there's folks that we got love for, especially people we know.
Right.
In the level of corruption that's been alleged and demonstrated, because like at this point it ain't alleged that the dude did what he did. It ain't alleged, right? So tomorrow's the elections out there. It's gonna be interesting, bro. What's your take on it?
Yo, here's my take. This is the thing, right? Sometimes you gotta crack. I'll rephrase it. You gotta crack a couple eggs to make an omelet, okay? Right. And if the omelet is a better city, so you got to crack a few eggs. And then the proverbial egg that needs to be cracked here is you all in Rocky Mount. And I said this on Bronson's post on the morning show. I was taking a listen. Y'all have to show up and vote. 22% of the people can't continue to dictate the direction of your city. And without you all showing up to vote, that's exactly what happened.
Hold up. Well, they can.
I mean, you certainly can. That is a thing. You can. Yeah, I'm plain mugging it today. I don't know what you got going on, but I'm plain mug today. Yeah, plain mug.
Silver
Okay.
mug shot, silver mug.
Gotcha. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like my brother said, you're checking out Top of the Morning. What we do here each and every morning at 9 a.m. is we kind of run through some of the most interesting stories of the day. On Fridays, we kind of review the week, but this is the top of the week. And I got to tell you all, bro, have you ever heard of the Brave Cave before?
Yo, you said this to me 15 minutes ago. No,
Okay.
no, I have
I'm
no idea what it is.
surprised. You would think this would be like national news. This would be all over the place. Everybody in the country would be up in arms about this entire Brave Cave situation. And the sad part about this, so let's just say you get arrested for, I don't know, they feel like you had too much weed in your car, so you, instead of an ounce, you got an ounce and an eighth, right? And they decide to take you down, and let's just say you decide to smart mouth the officer while you're en route
Okay.
to the jail. Should you be taken to a secret facility and tortured by the police?
No.
Okay, listen to this. Make this full screen. Listen to this.
10-4, en route to the Brave Cave.
Hours after lead investigator Scotty Hunter and the WFBI team exposed allegations of...
Yes, that is a warehouse.
All right, hold on. My question is that a black dude in there?
That is a black dude in
how
there.
folks
police
are. Why
misconduct
they
in
always
a
the black
secretive
dude in there?
garage called the Brave Cave. Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome is calling on a full investigation into the claims. In a report we aired tonight on 9 News at 6, the I-Team showed Baton Rouge police body camera footage from the arrest of a man earlier this year. After being taken from a home on Cadillac Street, the man was then taken to a secretive warehouse-type building officers in the video called the Brave Cave. The suspect's lawyer says the man was beaten there and had to be taken to the hospital for a fractured rib and other injuries. In a statement, the mayor called the report deeply concerning and said BRPD Chief Murphy Paul is now looking into the matter. You can read her full statement and watch Scotty's full report right now on the 9 News app.
Yo, so what they were doing here in Louisiana is secreting you.
Scroll back to that room.
You said scroll back to the room?
Yeah.
Here.
The Brave Cave. Mayor President Sharon...
Yeah, look at that.
Leave that up there. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's actually happening here? And now the police chief is mad because they're calling this out, and there was a big hearing about this.
Was
And
he for this? Did the chief know?
Oh, the chief knew. The city council even knew. And there's some other videos out there about how the city council knew about this for months and months going on here. Now, here's the problem. We are pro law enforcement here. We are pro cops who do the right thing. And I'm going to say 99.
You got to reiterate that statement. Who do the right thing.
Who do the right thing. But this makes it difficult on our side of the aisle to support law enforcement when you see this type of madness. Now, the mayor and the city council held, and this is in Louisiana. Huh?
Louisiana?
Yeah, this is in Louisiana. And the sad part about this, bro, is that the people there, if you don't have this is Baton Rouge. So if you live there and you have no trust for the police and you're like, yo, nah, the Brave Cave, it's hard for us to argue that this is right. There is no arguing that this is right. Like, that's not even a thing.
There's absolutely no way to make this correct. There's just no way. I don't care how much blew you back. I don't care.
There's no arguing that anything about this is right now.
There's no way. And anybody who says that, Republicans, would vote the pro police, even ignore, it's not true. That's not true. We don't ignore what's going on here. So I pull up my screen, Ali. This is Baton Rouge, and this is what's going on in Baton Rouge. You see it?
100 is the safest,
right?
And they're at a 2.
They're safer than 2% of U.S. neighborhoods.
So everybody else is safer than y'all, pretty much.
Well, let's look at the violent crime. I mean, look at what you see. Look at this. Look at it.
That's heartbreaking, man.
Look at this. 1 in 84.
So if we go to a convention with 100 people,
yeah, one of us is getting knocked
to Baton Rouge, somebody getting their head bust.
No, listen, if we show up with 85 people, we are gang. You don't even need 100. You show up with 85 people.
Mm.
You throw a barbecue. He better have 83 people there. You better
Yikes.
bring 85.
Yikes. Because,
No, matter of fact, you can't even come with 84 people, clearly, because it's 1 in
right.
84. So you got to show up with 83 or less. Sure.
to make sure everybody's safe. But here's the point. This is why I brought this up, Rob, because it really makes it tough.
So let me
Especially,
can I play devil's advocate for a second? Can I
go
play
ahead.
devil's advocate for a second? And
Go ahead,
I
try.
said I'm playing devil's advocate for a second for those that, like, oh, but he said I'm just gonna try this argument on my brother and see how this goes.
Okay, fire away.
But the crime is so high, this is what the officers feel they need to do.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, let me ask you a question. Do they have a jail?
Yes.
Do they have interrogation rooms at said jail?
Yes.
So can you explain to me the need for a secret area?
Yes.
Okay, what's the need for the secret area?
Because this is where we can take suspects and off the record.
But you have a jail.
Okay, hold on. This is where we can take suspects to question them and do whatever we want to do to them without being on camera.
Yeah, but you're clearly on camera. Like, that argument didn't matter because your body cam was on.
So damn, I tried. So what? Wait, let me understand. Y'all got a secret facility that ain't secret because you recording what happens there? Did I get that right?
I'm just saying. Now, the other side of this is that there was this, and this is the other video in this. Yo, listen to this. Check this out, bro.
But I'm going to speak my heart on this one.
Is this in the same
And he
city?
did just that. A tense meeting tonight at the Metro Council as everyone from council members, the public, and the police chief talked about the Brave Cave.
Yeah, there was finger pointing and the dialogue got real loud at one point. Nick, you were there in the room watching all of this unfold.
Yeah, Michael, Sylvia, it got so heated the conversation had to stop after constant arguing between council members and the public. It finally reached a tipping point when Councilman Lamont Cole and Gary Chambers argued just outside council chambers. Ever since the stunning revelations of the Brave Cave came to light, everyone has expressed shock and disgust, and several people from the public had a chance to...
Now, that pisses me off, though. That right there, those Black Voters Matter people, because
Don't even say it, bro.
I'm not even gonna go there. All I'm gonna say is we had black people showing up to vote, and
I just said don't say it.
all right.
To express that to the Metro Council Wednesday night.
I guarantee that most of the council don't even know where this cave is or haven't even been by it. I want you to imagine driving down a dark road.
Come on, son. You got arrested for something and you pull up to that? Yo, they pull you up to that?
Yo, all right. I'm laughing out of being absolutely terrified. That's what that laugh was. Like, oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, it's over. Like, as I pull up to that, it's over.
After you've been handcuffed, knowing you were in your rights, down another road that has no name. If we know one thing Louisiana is going to be in the news for, it's going to be for something racist, something messy, and something
Hold on,
dirty.
let's stop. We got to stop. Here's my entire problem with this. Let's set the Brave Cave aside just for a moment before we go to this next story. Okay? Let's just set the Brave Cave aside for a second. With the amount of crime happening in this city, okay, I'm going to ask this question. Who are the victims? Let's start with the victims of the crimes that are being perpetrated in the city of Baton Rouge.
Black folk, predominantly.
Hey, there's a tab open here with the crime, okay? So if we're going to start looking at problems in that city, the idea that the news clipped out the part where it's all of, if one thing we could guarantee is that it's something racism. It's 222,000 people, okay, in that city. And let's just get to the racial breakdown. Let's just get to that. I'm done right there. As soon as do you see that?
Hold on, go. I don't see your screen.
Oh,
hold on, your screen wasn't on. Here you go. There you go.
So what are we saying here? What are we actually saying here? The leadership appears to be black. Can you go back to your video? Was that gentleman black?
Yeah, he's black.
Is he black?
The police chief is black. He's certainly black.
So
That looked like a black police chief to me. Hold on, let me go back.
More the narrative, more this false narrative. There's a black police chief.
Clearly a black guy. So one of the city council members in this, hold on, Rod, this is what pisses me off about this whole situation. Listen to this.
If we know one thing Louisiana is going to be in the news for, it's going to be for something racist, something messy, and something dirty.
Here's when the meeting heats up. Councilwoman Jen Rocco reveals that the council knew about this issue for a while.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Who's gonna tell
Okay,
the
so
people?
when to shut your mouth?
Which one of us are going to tell them? Who's going to stand up right now with me and tell them that this issue came before us months ago, and we asked for something to be done, yet here we sit tonight? I'll stand. Anybody else going to stand with me? Because I know y'all are all in the room with me.
But then questions were raised by Aaron Moak on if the police chief, Murphy Paul, knew more about the Brave Cave.
Yo, wow, look at that, bro. It's down to unnamed street.
It's terrifying.
That's terrifying.
Didn't know anything about it.
That's
or you
that
said
could
before
potentially
you didn't know
be
anything
Hillary Clinton's reprogramming building.
about it, or hasn't acted on something previously that happened. That's just my feeling.
That's your word. That's a lie. Hey, Chief. Chief, I'm gonna let you come to the mic, bro. I'm gonna let you come to the mic.
Oh, that look.
I'm not blaming. Look.
Oh, did you see her in the back, bro?
No, I'm not.
She's like, you see that lady in the back? She's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
No. Pardon my French. You know what face that is right there? You know what just went through her mind just now? I'm gonna say it. It's a curse word, but I'm gonna say it.
What did she say?
She was like, "Fuck."
Look. And
No, I'm not.
fudge.
I want to get you straight. I am not blaming people.
Not feeling it right now.
Needless to say, the allegations from some council members that Paul may have known more frustrated him.
You know what you do? You strip my funding. Are you going to pay the attorney all the money that I already owe them for the bad cops that the Civil Service Board, where we're going to be here tomorrow, and none of y'all going to be here. And y'all sitting here trying to deal off these people's emotions, and some of y'all the problem. Jen Rocker, you sit there, defund the police department's budget from a legal standpoint, and then come here because I don't have legal representation, and I got to pay a lawyer to fight these bad actors.
Paul continued for another.
What does defunding the police got to do with a secret warehouse, bro?
Everything.
Help me understand that. Just help me, because I don't get it.
So what happens is, and I could see how this is possible, where he has little to no control. Meaning to say, you come into a system that's already messed up, but you don't know it. And you only learn this on the job, what's going on. So for him to get up in there and say that, he made a very specific point about getting rid of money that had to do with legal issues. When you're going up against these police unions and you're going to try to bring officers in, and they got all, the union has what's the union budget? It's unlimited. You don't have that budget. So if he's going in there and trying to clean stuff up and meeting resistance and getting lower legal funding, that was a very strategic thing he said. You went and cut.
Well, what you haven't done is explain to me why bringing people to a secret warehouse has anything to do with the funding you're getting.
That though, rewind, play what he said. Here you go, real quick.
The allegations from some council members that Paul may have known more frustrated him.
And you know what you do? You strip my funding. are you going to pay the attorney all the money that I already owe them for the bad cops that the Civil Service Board, where we're going to be here tomorrow, and none of y'all going to be here. And y'all sitting here trying to deal off these people's emotions, and some of
He's
y'all
pissed, bro.
problem. Jen Rocker, you sit there, defund the police department's budget from a legal standpoint, and then come here because I don't have legal representation, and I got to play lawyer.
So he's showing
to
up
fight
to a
these
review
bad
board
actors.
with no
Paul
lawyer, bro.
continued for another 2 minutes.
Hold on.
You know how it feels to have police officers telling other officers, tell me when you see the chief out there, so we can come in case he's drinking, so they can pull me over. The same people y'all have these backdoor meetings with. Let's have these conversations today. And I pray for y'all. And even in my retirement, when you know I'm leaving, there's going to be accountability. You still doing what you do. Shame on you.
But Jen Rocca didn't take kindly to Paul's response.
I do have to say, if this is what de-escalation looks like,
Oh gosh. We
Ah.
can't listen to that. Listen, I understand what's happening with him. They're gonna put somebody in there that's gonna play ball, and this is gonna go away. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but the argument can't be made, and we are clearly right on the right. Like, we are clearly on the right, but that's not right, y'all. We're gonna keep our eyes on this whole Brave Cave investigation, this situation going on in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We got a couple of we spent way more time on that than we wanted to, but I think it's important for folks to know that where we see something wrong, yeah, we back the blue, but it don't make no sense bringing nobody to no secret building and beating them up and all that. Nah, that's not cool. And I don't care about the legal funding, the whatever. There's no excuse for that. But we'll be right back on Top of the Morning. We got some judiciary hearings, and boy, oh boy, is it crazy. We'll be right back.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're back on Top of the Morning here on the Urban Conservative. You know, one of the things, bro, and in the last 10 minutes of this morning show, we might run just a hair long. We might just maybe a hair long on a Monday. A lot of folks don't spend time watching congressional hearings, so they really don't know what goes on in Congress. You see these judges who get appointed and they're there for like a lifetime. Some of these federal judiciary appointments are like lifetime appointments. That means if we get in now, you there till you're dead or you retire. So you would think that we would want the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme, the top of the, the best that you could get to represent the country on the courts. And when you listen, if you take just a little bit of time to listen to some of the answers, and you don't have to be a lawyer. We're not lawyers, but we have a pause button. We have Wikipedia. We have dictionary.com. You got Black's Law Dictionary online, so you could listen to this stuff and pause when you hear something you don't know.
You know what? Real quick, I think the more people don't have the bandwidth for this type of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, what do I mean by that? And that's something that we're working on with these series like The Elephant in the Room and things of these natures, to have this conversation, because I think you bring up an interesting point when you say that. Most people don't really know how the sausage is made, or what a subcommittee is, or what like how Congress is actually functioning. What is the Speaker of the House thing? What are these things, and how do they trickle down, to use a weird simple term, to have an effect on you, and what sense does it have that effect, right? So what goes on in Congress? How does that directly affect you? Not that we got to get into it now, but bringing this up, when you have people who are on this diversity, equity, and inclusion, when you have people that are on this really left-leaning, liberal, defund the police, light on crime type of folks, you have a problem, because this is who the Congress These are the people, the Democrats, because of how it works, not because I'm anti-Democrat, but because of the way it works and who has the majority and what's happening. The Democrats are putting forward their crew of people that will have lifetime appointment. So in your state, and you know, when things happen at a certain level in a federal jurisdiction, these are the people who are sitting there. So go ahead, man. Let the bean footage roll.
Oh my dude. So this particular one is gonna just I don't even want to. You know what, Rob?
When was this?
This is recent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Judge Katsubai.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you.
I think your fellow nominees owe you a debt of gratitude because many Biden nominees have been extreme, but your record is so far out of the mainstream.
He's from Oregon.
You have attracted virtually all of the questions. I was particularly intrigued by your statement.
Pause that, please. All right. All right.
What did you do?
Hold on. Nah, because we got to go into this objectively, right?
Okay.
Go in objectively. Now, though he had a rough day in there, let's just make sure we clear who, put this into perspective. Okay? So real quick, Mr. Katsubai is an American lawyer who served as a magistrate judge for the United States District Court of Oregon since 2018. He previously served as a judge on the Lane County Circuit Court from 2007 to 18. Was born in Los Angeles, grew up in Los Angeles, University of Berkeley. So we got a leftist college, right? We can see that. But let's just keep going. 92, degree in business administration, completed it at the Oregon School of Law. President Boone he was the president of the student bar. Okay. Yes, civil lit plaintiff. Okay. He's been an active member in legal associations. Judge Lane County nomination on June 1st. He was one of 6 names. Senators Ron Wyden, Democrat Party. You see that just popped up right there. So now we understand who's going to put these people up. It's other Democrat and Democrat Party. Okay. So now y'all understand that when these judicial candidates are submitted and nominated, they're usually being nominated by people within their party. Okay.
Right.
September 6, 2023, announced his intent to nominate him as United States District Judge. So Biden, there you go.
All right.
So this is how recent this is. On October 4th, okay, hearing on his nomination was before the Senate Judiciary Committee. During his confirmation hearing, Republican senators questioned over a ruling he made regarding the George Floyd protest and his statements and writings about diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Listen to this. Hold on. Just listen.
Cruz getting ready to ask him questions. Nah, because people got to understand what's going on. So you're watching the Senate Judiciary hearing where a federal judge will be appointed or not for a lifetime.
LIFETIME.
All the money. He getting all of it. There you go.
Yo, what is the salary for a federal judge?
I'll find out.
All right. While you look that up, let me play this. Listen to this.
Statement to Senator Blackburn that you said you are not, in fact, a Marxist. And then you said, and I wrote it down, I have not praised Marxist ideas. Now, as you know, in law, there is
200,000.
The fact of evidence. And so let's go to something you wrote, an article that is entitled Centralized Property Theory, in which you wrote, it's on the front page of your law school newspaper. You write, quote, intimate knowing, the lovers kissed, familiar and ever exciting, passionate transcendence. Beyond the physical exhilaration lies a burning light in our limbs, our hearts. Floating, flying, falling in every direction, amorphous and wonderful, time-stretching, space-curving, exquisitely explosive eros. And yet I timidly tremble every time. Now, somehow this is about property.
Yeah.
Which is not immediately evident as to why, but later in the article you write, you say, property is not simply a relationship between an owner and an object of ownership. Property is primarily a complex relationship between people and secondarily regards the objects people exploit. Historically, 3 paradigms have dominated European notions of property: Locke, appealed to the notion that labor points to who has the right to exploit property. Bentham relied on utility to dictate who has rights based on how the property is exploited. And Marx was plainly disgusted with the alienation that property imposed and its establishment of an us and them and haves and have-nots. Each theory alone denies important components of human experience. Among them are the ability to work, the need for personal privacy and boundaries, and uniquely diverse desires which spin us all in differing life.
Here comes a very simple question. It sounds complicated, bro, but it's about to hit him with a very simple question.
Directions.
Who does this sound complicated
However,
to?
the process towards integrating all three may provide a framework for relationships that enhances each unique self. The aspiration towards intimate knowing, the intimate knowing of oneself and others, is a creative struggle towards redefining property. What the hell does that mean?
Yo. You gotta rewind it a few seconds.
Unique self. The aspiration towards intimate knowing, the intimate knowing of oneself and others, is a creative struggle towards redefining property. What the hell does that mean?
Son, that is...
Senator, when I was preparing and reviewing my materials for this hearing and for the process, I also have to admit that that writing was far from clear or articulate, and the poetry was definitely not good. Now, Senator, I don't make...
Do you believe we need to have...
Hold on. He said it was not good. Did you? You got to...
And the poetry was definitely not good. Now, Senator, I don't make...
Do you believe we need to have a creative struggle towards redefining property, which is what you were advocating for?
You know, that was something that I wrote 30 years ago, Senator, and in the course of just exploring law school and the ideas that came with...
Okay, so your flirtations with Marxism were 30 years ago, so let's go more recent. In 2020, you gave a speech entitled Reflections on Equity and Privilege, and you said, quote, "First, the world is wide enough for all of us. Privilege derives its power from the belief in scarcity, scarcity of money, natural resources, food, and power itself. The desire to control it all drives privilege. I want to suggest to you that equity, the idea of equity, rejects this model of scarcity." Now, that's Marxism in 2020. What did that mean?
I've never considered that to be Marxist, Senator. It's the idea that equal access, and in the context of the work that I do here...
So there is no scarcity, there are no property rights. Equity gives everyone an entitlement to each other's property. Is that right?
Not at all. And in the context of the work that I do on the bench, Senator, when you look at my record for all of these 16 years, you will find that I have upheld the Constitution and our case precedent.
Okay, well, let's turn to something else you wrote in the Wisconsin Women Law Journal. Again, this is your writing. The name of the article is Destabilizing...
Yo, the only reason I bring this up is so that people can see how much they twist and bend and go around. Yeah. Oh, you got the Kennedy one?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Judge
oh,
Kessler.
no. Y'all are going to love this.
I'm looking at an order you issued as a magistrate judge here requiring the use of pronouns in your...
This is the one. Listen to this, y'all.
Do you require the use of pronouns, the declaration of one's pronouns in the court?
Senator, that may be referring to perhaps a trial management order or a scheduling order of some kind?
Yeah. No, it's a statement. You issued it. Here it is.
It's an invitation for people to...
Here it is. Issued it. Here it is.
It's an invitation for people to...
Statement.
Yo, what is that?
Yeah. No, it's a statement. You issued it. Here it is.
It's an invitation for people to identify their pronouns.
Watch how this goes, bro. Watch how this
or their
goes.
Honorifics.
Well, I'm looking at your requirement that you issued to all people in your court. You say, quote, when you introduce yourself in a meeting, you should say, my name is Judge Blank and my pronouns are blank. Is that right?
Senator, those were not requirements or rules. Those were suggestions and
That was suggestions.
Those were suggestions and invitations for people to use.
And you also, in your directive, you say, quote, I'd like counsel to introduce themselves, giving your full name and your honorific, such as Ms., MS period, Mix, or Mr., not Mrs. And if your client will be making an appearance, I ask you to please introduce them to the court by giving me their full name and their honorific, such as Ms., MS period, Mix, or Mr. End quote. Is that right?
Senator, it's not a directive. Again, it's an invitation for people to introduce themselves.
Invitation. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm looking at an article. And,
so here's the thing. If you have a judge, he issued a directive. That's why he's calling it that. And he was requiring that in his courtroom. It wasn't an invitation. Judges don't issue invitations, bro. And Kennedy is right on target. But this is how you end up, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we talk about in these local elections being so important, because you start at the local level and you work your way up from city council, county commissioner, state legislature into the Congress. And if you're not paying attention as to who you're putting in there, you eventually will get people like this in positions of power. You get people in Congress who won't question this. There is a real issue and a real concern that people have when the laws that people in states vote for, and I'm going to use North Carolina as an example, bro. We voted for voter ID. Over 55% of North Carolinians voted to have voter ID in the state. It took a lifetime appointed, unelected judge. The judge was not elected by anybody to rule that the will of the people was inconstitutional. Now, fortunately, we've got a majority of conservatives now on the Supreme Court, but that's the example that people like him get into positions, particularly to subvert the will of the people. So interesting. And that's who you got the Democrats putting up to have lifetime positions on our federal judiciary, bro. That's scary, man. Scary stuff. We're at 38 minutes here on Top of the Morning.
Hold on. Before you do that.
What you got?
I wanted to know, right, what this was about. I wanted to know what that was about right there. What is this about right here? Why did they do that to him, son?
What do you mean? What is that? What is that? I don't understand. Is he just at a barbecue? Is that the barbecue he was doing while the people were is this the most recent one?
Isn't that what it says? Biden barbecues.
Yo, he's not doing anything, bro.
No, I'm asking you a question. Isn't that the story that Biden barbecued?
Yeah, that's the story. While Hezbollah and Hamas are attacking in Israel and people in our country are dying, Americans have been confirmed to have been killed in Israel. This is what the president of the United States is doing. He's not in the war room. He's not in the Pentagon. He's not with the Joint Chiefs. He is chilling at a barbecue. That ought to tell you how much he cares about what's happening. And I got to give a big shout out to my man Simon, who flew out this morning to head to Israel. We hope you make it back, bro. But we have people in our immediate circle who are affected directly by what's happening here. Okay, there is a real issue. I dare say would not have happened if there was somebody else in the presidential Oval Office. If there was
pieces.
Huh?
Look at this line sack. Look at that line sack of manure.
Blinking, no evidence. Iran backed Hamas attack. Of course you're going to be out there. These lefties are going to be out there.
Joe Biden just gave Iran how much money? What you mean? No, the money we just gave them had nothing to do with this.
Right. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene asked a great question. How do we know
Well,
weapons and money that was meant to go to weapons and money that was meant to go to Ukraine isn't ending up in Palestine? How do we know?
Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal exclusively reporting that Iran helped plot the attack on Israel over several weeks. Former New York Congressman and gubernatorial candidate Lee Zeldin joins us live now.
Go Lee.
Let's forget the $6 billion. Why is this administration coddling, supporting Iran, the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism?
There's no good reason for it. You should not be coddling the largest state sponsor of terrorism, who calls the United States the great Satan. They call Israel the little Satan. They chant death to America. They develop intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, intercontinental. That's not meant for Israel. That's meant for us. Now, while dealing with Iran's nuclear activity, which has long been part of the conversation here within the United States and also internationally, we also have to look at Iran's other bad behavior inside the region. Overthrowing foreign governments, sponsoring terror. Hamas is an Iranian proxy. There is no way that Hamas carries out these attacks without support from Iran and a blessing from Iran. Now, if anyone wants to really be...
There you have it. Nail on the head, bro. You don't even got to say no more. Shouts out to Deborah Robinson on the check-in. Yes, the USA should stand with Israel. Shouts out to Mary Helen Taylor up in Rocky Mount. Absolutely. We should be standing with Israel. Again, shouts out to Simon and Justice, the brother that's heading over. But we've got to make sure, that our allies, the United States, continues to defend our allies, and Israel is an ally in that region. I asked a question, my man. We were at Justice's husband, Simon. Like I said, he's heading over to Iran. He's heading over to Israel today. And I said, yo, bro, the question becomes, how long can you poke somebody before they fight back? Like I'm supposed to just take your mortar attacks. I'm just supposed to take the rocket attack. I'm just supposed to take that. How long do you expect Israel to keep going? Yo, that's okay. We know y'all are frustrated. Like, no, at a certain point, these people got to defend themselves. So I think that we're going to see, most likely, this is not going to be quick. I don't see this because of the weakness that America is portraying. I don't get the vibe of a strong military mind out of Biden. I don't even think he knows what's going on, bro. I don't think the guy is capable of even mentally understanding what's happening. This ice cream cones in the basement type situation. But again, shouts out to everybody. There are so many Americans that have people that are in Israel. There are Americans that are there right now. Again, we've got friends on our side that are going over there that flew out this morning to go fight for Israel and fight for their country. And that's the right thing to do. We're going to keep our eye on it. We'll keep watching.
Before we go, right, we got 5 minutes left in the hour, right? So what we might as well do is I want to circle back to something on this Monday with tomorrow being an election.
Ooh, tomorrow is an election.
Yeah, tomorrow's an election. So what I'd like to do, right, is go ahead and put this up on the screen for the folks, right, who may not know what's going on here, right? All right, so this is the polling locations on the North Carolina State Board of Elections website for Edgecombe County. Okay, so this is where you go, right? And they got a sample ballot. They had a sample ballot there for one. What do you call it? For one.
There you go.
Here, they had this, but I don't see the ward.
That's not a city. That's Edgecombe side. That's nonpartisan elections, Edgecombe, and then you got to look at the that other one. Go look at the other one. So you got 3 folks running for mayor: the current existing mayor Sandy Robertson, you got Teresa Alton Stokes, and you got Bronson Williams. And let me tell you something. I've watched some of those.
We looking for the Nash County side.
Yeah, look on the Nash County side. But I listened to. I watched on social media a lot of what people had to say. And just if your qualifications to be the mayor are, I want to be the first Black female mayor, That's not going to get it in my book. That's not enough for you all to vote for somebody just because they want to be the first black one. That's not good enough. I want to be the mayor because of whatever the case may be. Now, there's also a very contested race, and we're going to talk tonight. We've got races out in Elizabeth City, out in Pasquotank County, but this Rocky Mount race, we're going to have Bronson Williams, who's running for mayor, is going to come on the show tonight on the Urban Conservative podcast. But Ward 1 in Rocky Mount has been, I dare say, making statewide news. So, there's going to be a reckoning. There's going to be a reckoning one way or the other when it comes down to these municipal elections. The future of a city is going to depend on whether or not they break the 20% mark. I think if you see more than average turnout, you might see some changes in Rocky Mount. If you see less than stellar turnout, you might end up with the same folks who are in there already. So I'm going to see what you got there, bro.
So shouts to the Rocky Mountain Telegram. They have a article about it. So just kind of a quick breakdown. Now this is would you say we have a keen eye on what's going on out there, right? As far as this election is concerned, because of not only just putting the film out, but because what's been discovered there and the disposition of the people, and I'll even say Mr. Knight, right? Okay. The idea is that when you've been in charge since 2003 and things have done nothing but get progressively worse, we have to start looking at the people that's been there the longest. It's nothing personal, right?
Right.
And it's
I went on.
it's nothing.
Listen, I went on Bronson's
Look, I
show,
don't.
and I said this, bro, and I'll say it again. We don't have to live there to point out the fact that if you've been on the job since 2003 and things
Yeah,
ain't
but
gotten better.
here's my issue with this, right?
Go ahead. I'm freshening up my coffee. I'm listening.
Let's just be honest here. 2003, okay. And if there's folks from Rocky Mount watching this, y'all can let us know who else has been there equally as long. Who else has been on that city council equally as long? Does anybody know who the top guys are? I mean, 2003 is a long time. Okay,
That is a
that is
really
a
long
long
time.
time to be in that
That's a
position.
whew.
That's almost congressional level. You've been there a long time. But in Ward 1, this is an important race, okay? In Ward 4, TJ Walker, who has been there since 2019, 21, 2, 3. So that's 4 years. Okay, he's did one. Is being challenged by Everett Silver Sr. Ward 4 is in Nash County encompasses a significant part of the southwestern side of the city. In Ward 5, we have Elijah Daughtridge, who's been there 4 years as well, is being challenged by Joshua Robinson. Okay. And there's a 3-way contest for mayor and the Ward 1 City Council position. The first place finisher on October 10th must receive 50% of the votes cast plus 1 vote or face a runoff against the second place finisher. A runoff, if necessary, would be set for November 7th. Okay.
All right.
So
I gotta say this to you, bro. 2003. Chingy's song Right There came out in 2003. If you've been in office since, I love it when you do it right there. Like, yo, what? You've been in office since Get Low came out. Yo, I'm looking, I'm like, yo, what songs came out in 2003? Yo, you've been in office since 50 Cent's Magic Stick dropped. Oh my God, son. Yo, you was in office when Joe Budden's
what
Pump It
movie
Up was
was
a
out?
hit record.
What movie, right, was out in 2003?
I'm going to tell you right now since you said it. Yeah.
I'm trying to see
The
how
Cat in
long
the Hat
Rockwell has
dropped
been
in
in there.
2003. Yo, the Mike Myers Cat in the Hat was out there. Bro, you've been in office since X2 came out.
Wait. Blackwell has been in office since the year 2000 and is the longest serving member since Blackwell.
She said you've been in office since Boots with the Fur. Oh my God.
Yo, wait. Blackwell has been in office since 2000. So
that's
him and Andre
23
Knight,
years.
So him and Andre Knight. Wait a minute. You gotta be kidding me.
Nah,
Blackwell
bruh.
was the representative in Joyner, right? So when did Joyner get on city council? That's what we need to know. I just gotta work harder to understand. Joyner said the work of Joyner. He also said while the campaign, actually specifically said, I need somebody to listen to me. And Blackwell's leading edge.
Where are you going with that? Where are you going with that?
So we got one that's been there for over a dub. You got one that's been there for a dub. So collectively 40 years so far. Y'all have amassed.
Wow.
Hold on. Joyner's leading Edgecombe. I'm trying to see how long Joyner has been on the city council.
Mary Helen said he's been there in his second term. So he's probably there 4 years, 6 years,
so
whatever their terms are, 8 years.
Probably so it's safe to say he's probably a Blackwell.
And listen, I know people. No. I know people that know Joyner, and he's not that from the folks that I've talked to. And I think what you've really got here, and we've watched people for some reason, I don't understand this in Rocky Mount. People are starting to make excuses for this. You know,
can we talk about it? Are we gonna really talk about it? Or are we gonna stop here? Because it's 52 minutes. We got really 6 minutes left with commercials, and I'm seeing a lot of goofiness in Rocky now. There's a lot of goofiness going on.
What you mean? Talk to me.
Okay, so there should be some type of when you have infighting at a certain level, when you have internal dysfunction at a certain level, it's one thing to disagree on policies. It's one thing to disagree on, yay, this project, nay, that project. Yes, spend money this, no, spend money that. But when it gets into, so like for me, for example, I'm an outsider, right? I know for a fact, like I'm an outsider. Right. I understand that there's people in that city that do not like us because they're pro Andre Knight and we're not. I'm clearly aware of that. I have no issue with that. Cool. Right. I make jokes. I'm funny. Ha ha ha. But I'd legit say whatever I'm going to say wherever I'm going to say it. You understand what I mean? Like, I'm going to have the same energy. I'm going to feel the same. I'm doing the same thing in the live presentation.
Yo, you notice I didn't switch it up when I went on the Bronson interview. I didn't switch it up. We're not going to switch it up. I didn't switch it up. Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is that it seems like there are a lot more agendas going on than seem beneficial to the community, right? It's like personal stuff going on versus what is the best for the community that you purport to care about, right? So there becomes like, okay, maybe it's just me and your relationship, but there are things that we have had it out about. And not one of the people on this show could tell us. Nobody knows. Nobody's going to ever know. Right? So, there's a level of working through dysfunction or disagreement, rather. There's a level of working through disagreement. The facts don't supporting certain candidates. The evidence, the fruit of the labor of the candidates don't support supporting them. I don't know how you could be an Andre Knight supporter. I don't understand that.
Yo, listen.
I don't understand it.
And I know they're going to go, oh, but that's old business, and you don't need to be talking about that audit list.
Take Andre's name off. Take Mr. Knight's name off of it.
And I'm not voting for whoever that guy is.
Whoever that guy is.
Whatever that guy is that has that much drama surrounding them. Not good for the city. But folks, we are going to watch live. We'll be tracking the I think we'll do a special tomorrow night, an election night special. We'll watch some returns come in for the local elections. We'll do that special tomorrow night. But I don't know how we ended up at an hour, but y'all got an extra 30 minutes out of us this morning for top of the morning here on the Urban Conservative. If you haven't done so already, please jump over to the website, which is tuconservative.com. Hook us up with one of those Hamilton plans. Or if you want your brand or your company to reach our growing audience of hundreds of thousands, soon to be millions of people, let us know. tuconservative.com. We can get you an ad. You can support our platform and what we do. We will be live and direct tonight at 8 p.m. for the Urban Conservative Podcast. Y'all stay right here for that. And then we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for Top of the Morning. For my twin brother, Raheem, Architect Soto, y'all have a positive and productive Monday. We'll see y'all tonight for the podcast. Peace and love.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.